Here is a presentation design idea that I would like to share with you. First slide, the title slide, moving into the next slide and then displaying additional text information that relates to the title. Or it can be a keyword or key message slide, moving on to the next slide, which will then display additional secondary information that ties in with the main key message. Let's see how it's done. So here I have the first slide, which can be a title slide or a slide with the main message. And then when I click my mouse going into the next slide, it gets transited into the next slide with additional information displaying surrounding the main key message using arrows and lines as connectors. I go. Okay, the first thing to do here is to then create a text box, right? So I have created a text box using the text box. Let's make it a title, which is big. I want to change it to white color. And let's type in, what was that? Visual Story Design. And Visual Story Design. Bigger size, create text and make it 180 point size, really big. The first word I want it to be bold, so visual design, I make it bold. Bold. Wow. And the word design, let's have it a little bit thinner, so I say maybe light. Okay, thinner. That's good. Wonderful. The next thing I want to do is to then separate that. So I'm going to cut that out. So either you go to edit, cut, right? Or you can use Command X. And I'm going to paste it back. There I have. So I have that. And select both of them. Let's centralize it. Okay. So the reason why I break that two words apart is that so that when it goes to the next slide, it can be separated and move independently. Okay, so next I'm going to create the second slide. To do the second slide, I will just do a duplicate of the first slide. Where's the duplicate command? Okay, so I'm just going to just right click and make the duplicate of that. So I have my second slide exactly the same as my first slide, but on my second slide, I am going to shift that apart. Centralize that, make the word design smaller, say 130 points. And let's position it somewhere interesting. Select both of it, centralize it. Where's the central mark? Okay, somewhere there. Wonderful. Okay, so let's add then the animation or the transition to move from slide 1 to slide 2. I will go back to my first slide and select animation and add an effect. And the effects that I'm going to use is magic move. You could see that, wow, suddenly it changes from first slide to the second slide, but the timing is a bit slow. So I'm going to add a timing, maybe 1 second instead of 2 seconds. From there, let's play again. Let's preview. Wow, isn't it fantastic? Let's see, preview. Wow. Okay, so once I've done that, let's move back to the second slide and then draw a box. So I want to draw a box surrounding the keywords. So from there, I will select a rounded rectangle box and draw it around that part. Let me just mix the style of the box without any fill, no shadow, and add a border, right? So we want a line border that is maybe gray color, around that size. I think that would do. That would be good, a bit bigger. Okay, is that centralized? Something like that. Okay, once I've done that, I want to cut off this area here so that it doesn't, go across the word design. To do that, I select the rounded rectangle box, and then I use the 2-finger tab on my trackpad to select make editable, right? And hold on my option key on the keyboard, and you realize that I can then create additional breakpoints from there, right? And once I've done that, I can select any of the breakpoints, 2-finger tap again on the trackpad. I can use the command that is presented. In this case, I want to divide the path, so divide that so that I can delete away that path, right? Somewhere like that. So that's wonderful. Okay, once I've done that, then I will add a animation. In this case, I'm going to add a build. So I built in add an effect using line draw. Right? You can see that that's very nice, right? It's like drawing the box as you move into the slide. So from there, let's play that again. The first slide, go on to the next slide. It didn't draw because I forgot to do something. Right? So I need to go to build order and tell it to say start after the transition. So once it's done, let's go back there, and wow, I can do that. Okay, so kind of very slow, right? So I'm going to make that a little bit faster, 0.8 of a seconds, and then let's make it draw a little bit faster. That line, instead of 2 seconds, I would say 1.5 seconds. From there, something like that. Play. Right. Go. Good. To add in additional things, so I want to add in additional keywords, the secondary keywords that connect with the main keyword, visual story design. Okay, from there, I click text again, make it right in the middle, and under the format, I would say let's use a green text. So I'm going to select that green color that I have customized, and maybe make it how many point size? Maybe 65, 72, okay, around there. And I want to type in keyword or numbers, something, and add an arrow. Right. From there, I want to take that arrow, hold on the command key so I can rotate it. Let's then, size the arrow correctly so that it looks nice. Let me just size it a little bit more. Okay. Style. Gray. And no shadow. Okay, that's it. Let's move it up a little bit, somewhere like that. Okay, then I can duplicate it, move it down, and I want the arrow to be the other way. This one would be, what was that? Pictures. And another one. Centralize, right? Pictures. This is diagrams. Okay, it's good, it's nice. Do you find that it's a bit too small? Let's enlarge the text a little bit more, right? 72, 86. Okay, that's nice. So let's go back to first slide and do a play. Click, go to the next slide. Wonderful.